to health and defense. Let's foster the future together. The nations represented in this room reflect great human potential. We are here today to advance ideas and solutions. So let us proceed in the spirit of collaborative dialogue. It is now my pleasure to give a floor to Mrs. Brigitte Macron, the distinguished representative of the French Republic.
Merci.
Thank you very much, Melania. Thank you for bringing us here together. We had dreamed of this actually in 2018. We had talked about it during the state visit with the Minister of Education, and here we are again, meeting again, and you were there together, all of these great moments once again. So we are mobilized against the deep fakes, against false information. But already, during your first term of your husband, we talked about the deep fake environments, and these were absolutely remarkable issues. So thank you very much. On behalf of the French presidency of the G7, which will take place in June in the city of Evian. So thank you to all of you for being here. It's wonderful to see you all this morning. So thank you. So I am a teacher, so I'll say 1, 2, 3 quickly. Screens. What are we doing about screens? Limiting. We need to limit them for young children. Ban to expose under 3 to screens. For example, at daycare and all public spaces, you cannot expose a child under 3 years old to screens. We not recommend it to children under 6 unless they are with adults. Now, cell phones. Let's talk about cell phones. With or without internet, none of that before 13. Starting on September 1st in France, primary school and middle school will be banned as well, also in high schools. No cell phones. Now, when it comes, that's for cell phones. In one way or another, we need to limit somewhat exposure to screens because we had a committee on addictions, and we already noted that there's very early addiction to children to screens. So from when does addiction start? Well, we have to talk about all of this together. What do you look? What do they do there? But I'm in a classroom and I ask these children, oftentimes in high schools, it's minimum 5 hours and sometimes up to 8, 9, 10 hours a day. So that's a deep personal involvement. So how can we limit exposure to screens? So this recommendation will be implemented in many schools. What we're trying to do is also educational support other than screens. In some screens that were all screens are now pulling back. They want to go back to books in one way or another. The best way to return to books, well, there's a very serious study that shows that when you read stories to children between the ages of 1 and 3, they sort of capture this moment as the greatest moment of the day. It's the great part of the day. So if we integrate this joy of reading, well, they will listen. So if you have kids, don't deprive them. Please read to them. Tell them stories. So progressive exposures and supported. This is another experience that we're conducting among sick children in hospitals. When children are suffering from long diseases, we can have robots or tablets, and the tablet and the robot is there with them. When they want to be connected, they can connect. So if they have to have tests in school, but these media can help them very much. I've seen very wonderful performances where young children bring their robot to recess. So I think this robot is a real innovation. So this is what I have to say about screens. This is what we are doing, limiting exposures. Now social media. We are much more involved in regulation because we have the Digital Act, which is a digital regulation which is aimed to fight effectively against all illegal contents, and it's also about the use of algorithms. Here, we must admit it's not working so well, so we need your own experiences about algorithms. Verification of the age, also that's important because we need to check person's age based on facial recognition. That works more or less well. It's not so easy to recognize a person's age based on their face. So we're trying to use other types of tools. And here we need your own feedback. Once again, we need you. Now, the Ministry of Education is adapting programs where you have mandatory classes in schools to the use of social media. So you don't watch just anything. But that can never be told to them enough. Really, that has to be part of our education. When we met the first time, the two of us, at the time we were talking about bullying. The Ministry of Education had a key program. So voluntary denunciations, voluntary involvement of teachers, and you can be recognized in a high school or middle school. The management of a school or high school, middle school has to create programs to fight against the cyberbullying. We're continuing, of course, to fight against bullying, cyberbullying, and we fund a toll-free number. And thanks to this toll-free number, you can suppress content. At any time of the day, you can suppress content that you launched yourselves, sending pictures. The trauma to young people is then when they can't delete these pictures. So how can you delete things easily? We also have programs for high teenagers. We have public spaces in France, and so you can go work with professionals who support them. So I met many platform managers, and they're really nice with me there, but it's not always followed through. So it's really important for them to hear us today, to have more moderators, so they need to provide us some support. So remind this principle that it's illegal. What is illegal in the real world is also illegal in the virtual world. Also, about people being anonymous. You're never really anonymous on a social media. In one way or another, you can be checked and verified. Sometimes you can be quite surprised. You have the impression that that's anonymous, but oftentimes it's not the case. So you have to check what is behind that. And finally, like you, I'm very excited, dear Melania, very enthusiastic about AI, but at the same time, I'm fascinated and worried. So my first thoughts, these dangers could be huge. A general reflection is taking place in France about marking. Do we need a sort of a logo to say this content or say this or that? In communications, press statements, anything that is done by AI. That is something to how can children figure things out if we ourselves can't figure this out, what is AI and what is not? So look at solutions altogether. So I say fascination, but concern at the same time. I do know that I am the United States, a country that I love very much. And here, we are the country of free speech, but I think that liberty does have some rules. We have to be free, but adapt to certain codes. So I believe in these codes. Too many young people are suffering, and they do not tell us, but they send signals, very strong signals from young people and teenagers. So it's up to us to answer them. Let's answer them all together. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be back.
Thank you so much, Brigitte. Yes, we will start talking about cyberbullying in first administration. We stay in touch, and we had a great success. We'll Take It Down Act, and we're moving forward. We have some incredible initiatives and also legislation in the works, and I want to congratulate you and everything what you did in your own country.
Okay, thank you so much. With you, we are best.
We are
like
best.
You want. Be best.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to yield the floor to Royal Highness, the distinguished representative of Kingdom of Morocco. Thank you.
The Kingdom of Morocco commands the visionary leadership of the First Lady of the United States of America for launching this critical coalition. Morocco is honored to be participating in this coalition, which reflects a shared understanding. Preparing our children for the digital age is not just a national duty, it is a shared global responsibility. We need to act together now, or the gap between those who benefit from technology and those who are left behind will grow wider. Technology must empower people. It must reduce, not increase, inequality. Within the framework of the Fostering the Future Together coalition, the Kingdom of Morocco pledges to expand and reinforce existing national digital protection platforms, as well as expand national digital literacy and inclusion programs. Additionally, the Kingdom of Morocco is very willing to share its best practices and national experience on child digital protection with partners in the African continent in order to support collective learning and foster international cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Princess Hasna. I now invite Her Highness of the United Arab Emirates to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States of America, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by conveying the best wishes of UAE First Lady, Her Highness Sheikha Fatma bint Mbarak, the mother of our nation, to all of you, and to our special appreciation to First Lady Melania Trump for her championship of the initiative, Fostering the Future Together. We are united here today in the belief that the future of the world will not be shaped in labs and boardrooms alone, but by the decisions we make for our children in our homes and countries and the world as a whole. As a result of the breathtaking development of advanced technology in recent years, we now stand at a turning point in the history of our race. The most critical question is this now: how can we ensure that technology remains in the service of humanity and especially our children? From the founding of our country, the leadership of United Arab Emirates believed that the true wealth of nations is not measured by the resources they possess, but by the minds of their people, minds capable of innovation and of shaping the future. The UAE has worked to integrate AI technologies into its educational system. We believe we owe it to our children to ensure they are fully AI literate. And instead of just adopting AI as something that has been developed elsewhere, we believe it is critical that we play an active role in developing and using this technology. As a sovereign nation, we have to shape the global debate around how to harness its potential. The UAE is a major stakeholder in this field. When President Donald Trump met with United Arab Emirates President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan during his historic visit to the UAE in May 2025, the two leaders agreed on joint projects worth more than $1.4 trillion in AI space. The UAE, under the leader of our president, is committed to working with the US and other great nations here today to promote the use of AI and advanced technologies in education and build a learning environments that empower children to become innovators, creators, and leaders in the world of the future. Once again, I would like to thank our gracious host, First Lady Melania Trump, for her vision and leadership in bringing us together today, and to express the full support of United Arab Emirates for her initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Highness. My best wishes to First Lady as well. Thank you. I would like to call for Mrs. Marta Nowraszka, the First Lady of Republic of Poland.
Esteemed First Lady Melania Trump, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me here today. And now I will switch to my mother tongue and first speak Polish.
Today's meeting is about one of the most important issues of our time: children in new technologies. We live in a reality where technology became part of childhood for the young people. Technology is not an addition, it's the everyday life. It's a chance, but it's also a responsibility for all of us. As a mother, I strongly understand how important it is that the children were safe and had the smart support of the adults. I would like to support the importance of safety of children online, as well as giving equal chances to everybody in education and development. First of all, safety. Children who spend more and more time online often lack the tools to identify risk in a proper way. We're talking about cyberbullying, addiction, dangerous contacts, but also about the manipulation of information or the loss of the sense of privacy. These are really experiences for young people. They often remain invisible to adults, parents, and teachers. That is why it's so important that we do not leave children alone in a digital world. Today, children are often present in the digital world before adults are fully prepared to guide them safely through it. In Poland, we also are observing the phenomena and see how important it is to raise children's awareness and provide support for parents and teachers in this field, and the teachers in this area. We need an approach which combines several elements: education, so that children know how to use technology safely; support, so that the